Hey everyone, Notion is an amazing platform, but seeing all the things it can do, it can get a little bit overwhelming. So in this video, we're going to test each and every option in this menu of the Notion in a detailed manner and learn how to use them. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So here we start. We are going to click on the little plus icon we have here and choose text. It's simple. You add a body of text with this option. Type anything which can be customized according to your choice of colors and style. For styles and aesthetics, I have a separate video on Notion. Link is going to be up there. Feel free to check it out. Okay, then we have a page. When we click on this, a page within this page will be created. I can name it anything, just like sample page number 1. Now, when we go back to the earlier page we have created this page in, this is also a Notion page in which I'm showing you guys everything, and we have created a new page within this page. This works just like the system of creating a folder within a folder. It's the same thing, but we are creating one thing in the other. So this is how it works. Let's see what is the next thing that we need to learn, and that is our to-do list. Okay, so let me show you guys how to create a to-do list with the help of this option. So first thing that we need to do is give a heading to our to-do list, like what is it about, and my to-do list is about things to buy. Then we will go to add and choose to-do list and type all the things that I'm looking to add in this list: eraser, pens, stickers, journals, whatever. Also, just know that you need to just press enter for creating a new to-do list next in the line. Now, as they will be purchased, we will just check them off, and voila, this is how we create a to-do list in Notion. Let's see what we have next. Okay, so this is for creating headings and subheadings, and headings smaller than that, subheadings. Heading 1 is the largest and the boldest font size. Heading 2 is like a subheading, and it's with the second largest and the second boldest font size. And this is how it looks. You see the difference. And then we have heading 3. This is the subheading with the third largest and the boldest font size. You can see the difference in all these 3 headings here, and you can choose that which one suits you the best when typing in notes or just creating any kind of database for yourself in Notion. The next thing that we have is a bulleted list. Let's give it a heading just like we gave it a to-do list, and give it a social media platforms to use. And now I will go on the add icon, click on that and choose bulleted list. And now I can just add all the social media platforms I'm looking to add here and press enter to create a next bulleted item, just like we did in the to-do list. Let's see what do we have next. Click on the plus icon, and there we have next thing is numbered list. Okay, so let's first give it a nice title before start creating a list, and my title is going to be stationery brands I love. And then I'm going to click on the add icon, choose numbered list from all the things that are available here, and then I'm going to start creating my list. Put the names of the brands that I love, and just like that, how we did in bulleted list and the to-do list, we just need to hit the enter for the next numbered list item. So keep that in mind, and it's very simple. The next thing that we have is a toggle list. Let me show you guys how it works. So we'll click on this here and now, and then give it a nice heading. I'm going to call it grocery items that I need to buy from the store. Now here we can see that it says empty toggle, click or drop blocks here. So as it says, we have two options. Either we drag and drop an item from our to-do, bulleted or numbered list and drop it here inside this toggle, or we can create a new list altogether. So we will create a new to-do list for this toggle, add our items, press enter for a new line of to-do item. And now here is how the toggle works. It shows and hides the items inside it, saves space on a page also if you don't want to use up a lot of space. Next we have is a code. So I'm trying a typical code here, but if you are making notes and want something to show up differently, might be because it's a key point or maybe a literal code, then this code option would be a nice touch to your notes and you will love using it.
If you want, you can also select your text and there you will get a lot of options. I'm making my text italic, but if you want, you can make it bold and you can change the color and whatever you want. Give it a nice touch and it will look even more beautiful.
Here we have divider. So when typing notes or adding any data on Notion page, we sometimes need to segment them into different sections. So we are able to quickly catch that both the topics belong to different categories. For that we have divider. For example, I want to create a divider between my bulleted list and number list. So I will click on the add sign and choose divider. Let's delete this empty space, and here you can see a faint line which is dividing both the sections. This will make easier for us to understand that they both are different, and this is how the divider works. Next is link to page. Now, for example, you want to give reference of a page in your notes or just want to add a quick link of a different page that you have created on your Notion. You choose a link to page and a list of pages that you have created on your Notion will appear. You choose any of them and now you can access the page directly from right here without going anywhere else. I've also done it on my home page. It gives me a quick access to these two most important pages that I use on regular basis. Now, if there is a section of a page that you want to stand out, you choose call out by clicking the plus icon and this box will appear with an emoji. You choose a relevant emoji with your piece of writing. I'm choosing Milky Way and paste my text right here. You can also type your text and you are done. It makes important highlights of your notes easier to find. You can also change its color and I'm going to change it to blue background by clicking on the 6 parlor dot sign, which is always just beside the plus icon. So choose any color and pick any which suits your style, and this is how you make a call out. Coming on to the next category, which is called inline, the first option that we have in it is called mention a person. So you can add your friends as members on Notion and create a group or team if you want to. So imagine you type a piece of text which is for a certain friend or a particular person or member in your Notion. So you type that sentence and mention that person like this. Just know that other people in your group or team will also be able to see that message. It's not private at all. Moving on to the next one, the next thing that we have is called mention a page. So imagine that you want to reference a page in your notes or want a friend to check out a page. You click on mention a page, choose the choice of page from list, and then add the relevant info with that. For example, I'm adding a friend here to let her know about a page I have created for Netflix series. So I'm like, I have created this page, please check that out and tag that person, and he or she will check out this page and they will get all the information that they want in there. The next thing that we have is called mention a date. This is good for adding reminders. So for example, that after choosing this, you will get a prompt to add a date or maybe today, tomorrow or something like that. So I'm going to type a date and Notion will automatically give a suggestion regarding that particular date. And then I'm going to add a reminder for myself or my friend, whatever I need. And I can tag that particular person along with it if I want to. But that's not it. I can also just go ahead without adding the date and just do this tomorrow, and this is the event that you have to come to tomorrow. And I can also type in today instead of tomorrow, or whatever adjective that I have for the particular day, today, tomorrow, or yesterday. So this is how it works, and I particularly love this option because I cannot just use it for one of my friends or something. I can also use it for myself to remind myself of something. The next thing that we learn on Notion is adding emojis. Yes. So in this one, we will see the list of all the emojis that we generally see on our phones, and you can select any of them. There is not particularly a search option on top of that to search in for any particular emoji, but you have to go through all of the list to find any. But there is a shortcut for this. So there are two options. So either you go through all of this list and find the particular emoji you're looking for, or you type a colon sign and then you type the name of the emoji you're looking for. For example, if I'm looking for a bag emoji, I would type bag beside the colon symbol. And if I'm looking for a sparkle emoji, I would type the colon symbol and then I would type sparkle, and it would show me all the sparkle emojis. So this is the shortcut, and it's quite easier that way. So this next option is for people who use Notion for studying mathematics, and it's called inline equations. So mathematicians cannot actually escape from equation. So I would tell you how to add one in Notion. So for example, we need to add an equation called a square plus b square equals to c square. Then we would type a caret symbol 2. It would address it as a square. Then plus b caret symbol, then 2. It would address it as b square, then equals to c, this caret symbol, then 2, and this would address it as c square. And here is our equation: a square plus b square equals to c square. We would press done and it will be all sorted. But I will teach you one more thing. What if we need to add 2 digits as the power? So instead of a square, we want to add a20. Then what we would do? Because if we add a20 like this, then 0 would come as a normal figure. So what we need to do is a caret symbol, curly brackets open, 20, curly brackets close, then our equation will be a to the power 20. But if you want to learn more about how to use Notion for people who study mathematics, I'm going to recommend you a YouTube channel. I watched this video at one point of time to learn the basic about adding equation in Notion. So I know that this video would help you guys a lot. The link is going to be in the description box below. Feel free to check it out. Moving on to the next phase of learning about Notion basics. The next phase is called database, but we're going to skip over this part for now because this one is really lengthy and I'm going to leave it for the later part of the video. And for now, I'm going to discuss about media. The first option that we have here is image. Now there are 3 options of adding image on our Notion page, and it's called upload, embed link, and unsplash. Upload one is quite easy. You upload any media file, any image file from your device, and in the embed one, you open any image on Google, right click on it, open image in new tab, copy the link from there just like this, and then come back on your Notion page, paste the link here, and then click on embed. And you will see that your image has now appeared on your Notion page. You can resize it according to your own preferences. There is no limit in that. You are not bound to a particular size. And then we are going to move on to our third option of adding image on our Notion. And the third option is called Unsplash. Now guys, Unsplash is a platform where you find all the copyright free images. And I think there is a tie-up between Unsplash and Notion, of course. And that's the reason that we can find Unsplash images directly from here. You can type the term in the search bar here and you will get all the options of the images that are related to that particular term. You just select any of these images you like, and when you hit on that, the image will appear on your Notion page. And of course, you can resize it too according to your own preferences, not bound to a particular size. And I'm just gonna resize it, and then I'm going to move it just beside the earlier one so that it just looks nice, because this format is not looking good to my eyes. So yeah, this is how it's gonna look now that I have moved it over beside the earlier image. Now, in this option, I'm going to teach you guys how to create a visual bookmark on Notion. So what you do is you click on the add icon, click on the web bookmark in the media section, and this box will appear, and then you move on to any website. Particularly, I'm going to IMDb, and then I'm going to type the name of my favorite movie, and after that, I'm going to copy the link of it from the address bar, and here the page appears, and we're going to copy the link from here, and then we're going to move on to our Notion, and we're gonna paste the link in this dialog, and then we're gonna go for create bookmark, and in just few seconds you will see that this dialog will be formed, in which a little part of the text what this website is about and an image will be just beside that text will appear, and this will just make things easier for you to understand like what this link is about. You don't have to click on the link and then find out that what is this link about. Just because of this little thumbnail and the text beside it, you will just look at the bookmark and you will be easily able to grasp that what this link is about.
So the next thing that I'm going to show you guys how to do is embed or upload video on our Notion page. So we'll click on the little plus icon, move on to the media section and click on video. And when you click on that, you will see there are two ways of putting video on our Notion page. One is embed link, other is upload. Now I have already copied the link of one of my videos from my YouTube channel, and I'm going to paste it here and then click on the embed video, and I will see that my video has appeared here. Now the good thing about is that I can directly watch the video from here. I don't need to go to the YouTube separately and then watch the video. And this is the fun part about Notion, that you can embed things in here and then you can watch or listen or look at them directly from here. You don't need to go anywhere, and this is the part that I enjoy the most about Notion. And then the other part that we have of putting videos on our Notion page is upload. Now that is quite easy. You click on choose a video, and then you will see the files on your device, and you can upload one of them here, and you will be able to watch the video directly from here without going anywhere else.
So the next thing that we will learn is how to add audios on our Notion page. Now, just like the videos, you will see that audios also have two options. One is upload and the next one is embed link. So I will just guys show you first how to embed audio links on our Notion page. So we will move on to the Spotify, copy the link of one of my favorite songs from here, and we will click on this three dot icon, click on share and then copy song link, and then we'll come back to our Notion, paste the link here and then click on embed audio. And we will see that the song we were trying to embed from our Spotify is already here, and we can play the song from here. But one drawback of embedding song from Spotify is that Spotify only allows you to play only 30-second of clip of particular song on your Notion page. But we have an alternative for that. We can move over to the SoundCloud, copy the link of our favorite song or playlist from here, click on share, copy this link, move on to the Notion, and then embed the link the same way we did for Spotify. And you will see that after embedding the link, you will be able to play full songs on SoundCloud, unlike Spotify. And I think it's a great alternative for that. And until Spotify gives us that option of playing songs from the Notion directly without moving over to the app, then I think till then SoundCloud will work good. And I'm moving the SoundCloud section here, and now you can see I'm gonna play a song here, and then we'll see that it's able to play the complete songs unlike the Spotify without any problem. And just as I told you guys that there are two options of adding audios on our Notion page, the other one is uploading audio files on our Notion page. So that one is quite easy. You click on the add icon, click on the audio, click on the upload, and then when you click on choose a file, then you will see all the audio files on your device and you will be able to upload one on your Notion page. Now, the next option that we have is adding code. I personally never used it, but I learned a bit about it for this video. So I copied a random code from the internet and I'm posting it here. And now you can see that we are not able to see the code all in one go. So we'll click the three dot icon in the top right corner and choose wrap code. Turn it on, and now we are able to see all of the code in one go. Notion comes up with different coding languages: HTML, Java, CSS, Python, etc. And now when we choose different languages, the color of the code changes, and I think that it means a lot to the people who are learning those coding languages. I don't know what really it means, but when I was changing the languages, the color coding was changing. So I think, yeah, it makes a difference to the people who are learning it. And I think that Notion is a very good medium for people who are learning coding, for making notes or whatever. I mean, this option really makes it easier for people who are learning coding. And I really appreciate this thing about Notion. And even if you're one of those people who are not learning coding, you just type any sentence, and if there is an important reminder in that sentence, for example, a meeting will be held tomorrow by 7 in the morning, you highlight the 7 in the morning part, and then you will get different options like link, coding, and changing the color or whatever. So you click on the code snippet, and you will see that your sentence will appear in the coding format. And I think that is really interesting because, it will highlight the important part of the text in a very cute and aesthetic way. So the next option that we have on our list is file. So with this option, you can upload or embed any kind of file on your Notion page, PDF, Word, Excel, whatever you want, any kind of file. So you click on that, and there are two options, upload and embed. In the upload one, you choose a file from your device. So I'm choosing a PDF file from my device to upload here. I'm going to click on open, and we will see that my file is uploaded here. And the next thing what we'll do is we'll click on that. We will see that we are able to open the file directly from here without any problems. We're just hitting on that link that is formed, and then the file will open. And the next option that we have for uploading the file is embedding the file. So what we'll do is we will copy a link of a PDF file or whatever, any kind of file from the internet, and we're gonna paste it here, and Notion will embed that file on the page. And in the same way, when you click on that, you will be able to open the page directly from Notion. It will open the PDF software or the browser, whatever you have in your system, and you will be able to see the file directly from your Notion without any problem. We are into a new segment now, which is called embed. It's all about embedding files and links from the internet. Our first option is called embed, and this is like a hub or the main option. You can embed any kind of file or link from the internet here. You're not restricted to any kind of media in this option. Let's try that out first. So I'm pasting the link here of a location in Vancouver, Canada, and this is how the map is embedded on our Notion page. And I think it looks great, and if you need to find location, if you need to navigate a location from here, you can easily see the map here and easily figure out where it's located. I just quickly copied it from right here in my browser and pasted it in my Notion. And now I'm trying to embed a YouTube video here. So I'm gonna copy the link of one of my YouTube videos from the browser, coming back to my Notion, and then I'm going to embed the link from here. So let's go into embed and paste it here, and then what we're doing is embed link. So that's how it is done, and we can embed literally anything here, just like I said. And now I'm moving on to the next option that we have in the embed one, and that is called Google Drive. Now for this option, you need to connect your Google account with your Notion Google Drive, because without that you won't be able to either embed or upload a file from your Google Drive. So I'm pasting here a random link of a Google file here, Google Drive file here, and this is how it is embedded. I can directly play it here if I want to. And the next file that I'm embedding is Google Docs file. So I am pasting a link right here, and then I'm going to embed it on my Notion page. And this is how a Google Docs file looks like on Notion. I can directly open it from here if I want to and access the file from here, and it will be quite easier if I'm making notes and if I want to give the reference. And then I can also open the files on my Google Drive by uploading them, and I will simply open the Google Drive from my Notion, and I will be able to see the files that are available on my Google Drive, and I'll be able to embed them directly from there. So the next thing that we are going to learn is quite cool. We are going to learn how to embed a tweet from Twitter on our Notion page. So I copied a link of one of my tweets from Twitter, and I'm gonna embed it right here, and this is how it's gonna look. I mean, it looks quite good and aesthetic. If you want to just paste a funny tweet right here and there, you can do that. You just go to Google, open the tweet you want to copy the link of, and then you just click on the option right there which says share, and then you copy the link of the tweet, and then you go back to your Notion and embed the link or the tweet just like I showed you.
Now, the next thing that we're going to learn is how to embed a GitHub gist. And this is where the option is, right below the tweet. Now, for people who don't know, GitHub is a code hosting platform for collaboration and version control. You can work on projects with people from around the world together using GitHub. It also has a lot of student benefits who want to learn tech skills and build software from their browser directly. So I go to my GitHub, although I think a code is supposed to be here, but I put a text since I'm not a coding person. I just wanted to show you guys how it works. So I copy the gist code and embed it in my Notion page, and this is how it will show up. Next in line, we have embed Google Maps. So we will click on the little add icon, go to the embed section, and then we will see Google Maps. And there you can paste the link of any Google location. Let me show you guys elaborately how I did that even the last time, because we have done it before. So I'm going to copy the link of the location from right here. For example, I want to copy the link of the location of a cafe. So I copy the link from Google Maps and then I'm going to paste it here and embed it. And this is how it will show the location of that particular cafe on Google Maps, and I can directly access the location of it from right here, the directions and everything. And it really comes in handy when you want to send or tag a team member to know the location of a particular place. Next is embedding Figma file. You click on the little add icon, move to the option called Figma, click on that. But before doing anything else, let me first tell you that what is Figma. Figma can be used by working people and students both. You can create a team on Figma and put your ideas together on a sticky note or a whiteboard and create web-based graphics and design interfaces and social media posts if you want to really push its users. So I created a Figma account and created a mind map on a whiteboard of an idea by taking an example of creating an online store. I chose keywords of how the online store should look like and how it would feel like, copied the link of the mind map and embedded it by pasting the link on Notion. Now I can access this whiteboard from Notion itself without moving over to the website of Figma. So this makes things easier for your team members, whom you are sharing the Figma account with, whether they are your teammates from your office or your teammates from the school. It makes things so much easier. The next options that we have are called Abstract, Envision, and Framework. You can see them on your screen, guys. Now, all these three options are related to software and website development, which are not my area of expertise at all. I don't even have 1% knowledge about them. So I'm going to leave these options, guys, and moving on to the next option, which is called Whimsical. So let's paste a Whimsical board link, and this is how it will be embedded on our Notion page. If we want to view it right here in our Notion on the small screen, we can do that, but this is not much of a use because it's a to-do list, and if we want to view the to-do list, then we need to open it in Whimsical. The option will come right here, and now we'll tell you that what actually is Whimsical. Now Whimsical is very much like Figma. The only difference between Whimsical and Figma is that Whimsical focuses much more on the fact of teams coming together and creating and brainstorming the ideas together. So for example, that a project was given to a team,
and now I created a to-do list for each and every member in that team. For example, that a team members were Natasha and Jacob and John. So a to-do list was created for each one of them in the form of sticky notes. So I created the sticky note format to-do list here, and I copied the link from here and then I embedded on my Notion. So if Natasha, John and Jacob want to view the to-do list from the Notion itself, they can just click on the Whimsical board and view it right there. And this is how Whimsical makes teams coming together easier.
Next we have is Miro. Miro is basically an online whiteboard. You can create mind maps, Kanban boards, frameworks, brainstorming boards, flowcharts, etc. It's a direct alternative of Whimsical, but just much more better if you are more about creating flowcharts and boards and maps to understand things better and your thoughts and your ideas better.
So just for taking an example, I have created my own little mind map on Miro, and then what I will do is I will copy the link from here, go back to my Notion, click on the little add icon, choose Miro from the option list, and then I will paste the link in this little dialog and then embed the Miro link that I have posted here. And then what I will see is that the Miro board will be visible here, and then I will click on see the board, and whatever mind map I have created will be right on the screen. But everything on the screen, if it's not visible right within this small screen, then what I will do is I will increase the screen size, and Notion won't be exited. If I just minimize it right from there, I'll be back to my Notion within the same app. There will be no app switching. So the next thing that we have is Xcoli Draw. We will click on the little add icon, choose Xcoli Draw, and paste the link here and embed it. But it wasn't loading like that because I didn't have the premium version of it. So what I will do is I will click on this little hamburger icon and then choose load, and then I will load the file from my device because I saved the file in my system. So then the file will be loaded here, and then you can see that Xcoli Draw helps you draw the flow charts and the diagrams that we create while studying. It makes these kind of things so easier. It has all the figures, the square and the circle and the arrows, and the fonts are handwritten. It looks really nice and it's really helpful for students. So the next thing that we have is pretty easy. It's a PDF file. So either we embed it or upload it. So uploading it is pretty easy. You upload it from your device, but embedding it, I'm just going to show you guys. I will paste the link from the internet, and I will just see that I'm able to see the file in here. I'm able to view it. It's not just a link that is visible. The file is visible inside the Notion, which is different than how we did it before. It's done in the same way, but the way file is being visible in the Notion, it's different. So if you want your file to look like this, you choose the embed PDF option. The next thing that we have is Loom. So before we start up on Notion with it, let me just show you what exactly it is. Loom is a screen recording and video messaging tool that helps you get your message across through instantly shareable video. You can record your camera, microphone, and desktop simultaneously with the help of it. Have you seen the videos where people are also showing their face in a circle, in the corner, and also recording the screen and also recording their voice? They're using softwares or applications like that. So I'm going to install Loom as a Chrome extension on my device, and then I'm going to give access to the camera and the screen and the microphone for getting started with the recording. So yeah, this is how we do it. It will just ask for one-click access, and now we are ready to use the Loom. And right now I'm going to record the screen only video, but if I wanted to, I would have done the camera recording too. Now let's start the recording. And now we can see on the left hand side bottom, a player is showing up where we can see options called pause, play, and stop. So once the screen recording is done, we are going to click on the OK, and then we will get the option to copy the video link just like this. We're going to copy it, and then now we're going to embed it on our Notion. Now if we have a team with whom we want to share this video, we can do it easily because now it's on our Notion. So this is what Loom does. So the next thing that we are going to learn is how to create a type form. This can be really useful for people who study in schools and universities and work in organizations. So before starting up with that on Notion, I'm going to show you that what exactly is type form. Now type form is a platform where you create forms of different types like poll, quiz, application, and so many others which will suit your requirement. I am going to choose to create a poll form here just to show you guys that how exactly type form works, and you guys are actually convinced that it is useful. So I'm going to use this template, this straw poll one. There are other templates too. If you like just any other, you can go for that. And now I'm going to click on use this template and get started with editing it. I'm gonna click on this option, and then the template will load in front of us. But before that, it will ask us a question like what we want to name our type form and what kind of type form it is. So I'm gonna name it color scheme for upcoming project, and then in the type of type form I'm gonna choose poll. then I'm gonna hit on continue, and then I don't want to see the highlights, so I will click on no thanks. And now we will edit the option names. So I'm gonna choose a color palette. So the first palette I'm gonna give the name is beige color palette, and then I'm gonna call the other option is pastel color palette, and I'm gonna leave the third option just as it is, because yeah, sometimes people are undecided, and if I want to add more options I can do that with the add button. And now we're going to change the pictures of these options because they are not related to the options at all. But first I'm going to show you that we can add these pictures too, like we can put filters on them, and we can increase or decrease the contrast or brightness or saturation, and even crop the images. But now we will go back and choose the related image from the gallery. So my option was called beige color palette, so I will choose the term beige, and I will choose this image and click on continue. We don't need to do or go anywhere else for putting images which are related to it, but if I want to upload custom pictures I can do that too. And now we will choose the picture for our second option, and yeah, I will choose the pastel term here. Here you can see above that there is an option of upload. So if I wanted to upload, I could have uploaded the picture myself, but no, I don't want to do that right now. So I will choose this picture and click on continue. And now we have pictures with our options which are actually related to them. So we'll click on save, and we are done with pictures. And now we will leave the second question just as it is, because I'm just going to show you guys the demo that how it's used. So now I'm going to change the question and make it related to the question I actually want to ask. So the question is going to be, who are you voting for, beige color or pastel colors? And we are also going to change the option name font to bold so that it's much more visible and much more catchy. So yeah, this is how it's done. You select the text and change it to bold, italic, or whatever you want to do, and then you publish your poll. And you copy the link from here, and then you have to go back to your Notion, and we will select typeform from the list and paste our link here. And now we will see the typeform has been published on our Notion, and the people who will be added on our Notion, the members, will be able to choose the answers in the poll, and the person who created this poll from their account on typeform, they will be able to see the answers, who voted for which option, what percentage of people went for beige color or pastel color. So this is how it is done. Now the next option is called CodePen, which is also a software and website development tool. So I'm gonna skip that, and moving on to the new segment of our list, which is called advanced blocks. The first option that we have here is table of contents. Now this is so amazing. Remember we created heading 1, heading 2, and heading 3 in the beginning. Based on that, Notion creates a table of contents automatically. Basically creates an outline of the page. It's really useful when you have notes on Notion page. Let's try it on my home page, since I have created lots of different segments there, but I have basically used one size of the font everywhere in the heading, so it might not divide them on the basis of a lot of different categories. So let's do that, and I'm just going to show you guys that how it uses heading as, you know, creating a table of content. So these were my headings in different segments of the list that I created on this home screen. So it created a table of contents on based of that this is what I have on my page, which I think is really amazing. Like, you don't have to create it individually. If you have notes on Notion, then it's really useful, because imagine that you want an outline of where your particular topic of notes is. Then it's really useful, because once you create this option, then you will automatically know that where your particular category of notes belong.
Coming to our next option, which is called block equation. Now, remember we did an inline equation in the beginning for mathematics. The difference between inline equation and block equation is that block equation covers the whole page on Notion, while inline equation used to occupy only a portion of space. Other than that, both of these options perform in the same manner and use the same steps. There is no difference at all.
The next thing that we have is quite interesting. You go to the little add icon, choose the template button from the options in the advanced blocks, and when you click on that, you will see a prompt. And template button basically helps you to not to go through the hassle of choosing an option again and again if you are creating multiple options of it. Like for example, if you're creating a lot of different new to-dos, so you don't have to click on little add icon every time you create a new to-do. Although you can hit the enter button and create a new line of to-do, but this doesn't happen in the option of creating bookmarks. You have to choose the bookmarks from the list. So in that case, you create a template, you configure a template. So what you do is you choose from this list that what kind of template do you want to create. You want to create a template of bulleted list, you want to create a template of a bookmark or a numbered list or whatever, and then you give your button a name. Like what will be the prompt? So I named the prompt as add things to buy. So every time I click on add things to buy, a new bulleted line would be created and I would be able to add things in that. And now I'm going to take the second example of that. For example, if I want to create something else, not the bulleted list. So now this list is going to be about add things to do. So I'm going to create a to-do list now. So from this now I'm going to delete this and choose to-do list. So we created the bulleted list and added to-do list here, and now it's giving us a prompt of add things to do. So every time I click on this add things to do, a new line of to-do would be created. Like how amazing is that? I don't have to choose this option again and again from the list if I want to create it. So now I'm going to show you guys that how I use this create a template button on my Notion on basically daily basis. So I have this page on my Notion which is called movie list, and every time I find a movie to watch, I add the link of the movie here and create a bookmark. But I don't have to go through the hassle of creating a bookmark every time. I just click on add a movie, paste the movie link here, and a bookmark is created automatically. And this is how this create a template button comes in really handy. The next thing that we'll see how to create is called breadcrumbs. Now this comes in really handy when you want to tag someone to tell them that where is the location of a particular page. For example, my page is in a page called Daily Foraging and it's called Notion Basics. So if you have created lots of pages within pages, this comes in really handy at that time too. So the next option that we have is called Saint block. It's the last option in the advanced blocks, but we won't create it here. For this we need to go back to our home page. So we will go back and go to the bottom of our screen, and here we will create a Saint block. So we'll click on the little add icon, choose Saint block from the option, and in the dialog which will appear, we'll just type a text there like this is Rebecca's Notion, and then I will copy and sync. Click on the copy and sync option, and then I will go back to my Notion Basics page and I will paste that link here, and that dialog will be posted here. And now if I bring a change in this dialog, for example, I have changed it to this is Rebecca's Notion page, you will see that when I go back to my home page and see the dialog which I created, in which I typed this is Rebecca's Notion, the change has also came there. It's called now this is Rebecca's Notion page because I brought a change on the other page. So if you want to create something in which you might bring changes and you want those changes to be synced and they are all the same thing, then this sync block option can be really helpful. Now coming back to the database section, which I left for the end of the video since it was something which needed much more explanation than the other options. So here you can see that there are options called table and board and gallery and list, and the difference between them is one of these options is called inline and the other is called full page. So these options are same, but there is just one difference between them. One option is inline and the other is full page. So let me just show you once how the inline option works and how the full page option works. So this is an inline table. So inline table means that a table will be created within the same page, and this is a full page table, which means that a new table created with a new page, like there will be a new page altogether. Now this is a new page altogether which is called untitled. So we'll click on that and we'll see that a table is created within that. So this is the difference between inline and full page, and there is no difference between how they work and what are the steps that we need to learn about them. They are just exactly the same. The only difference is that I have already cleared. Now one thing that we need to see is that in this database section we have table and we have board and we have gallery and we have list and calendar and timeline, and in the first 6 options we have inline written beside them. Then we have the same 6 options again. If we go just a little down, we have the same 6 options again: table, board, gallery, list, calendar, timeline. But the difference between them is that there is a full page written beside them. So these 6 options will be repeated again, but I will only cover one aspect of them. I will pick the inline option, and full page will work in exactly the same manner. Okay, so now that we have created an inline table, we have option here which is called add a view. Now if we want to change the view of this table, we can see that they are the same 6 options again: table, board, timeline, calendar, list, and gallery. Now we can convert it into a table again even after putting the data. We don't have to be like that. Once table is created, now we would need to create a different board of it, if we want to convert it into a board. I will show it to you guys later. Now for example, that I want to create a board, or I mean a table, which will be about the app subscriptions I have purchased. So then we will type in the app name, and then we will go to the second column, go to the property type, and see that what kind of property we want to put here. Now if I want to add that when did I start the app subscription, then I will choose the date, and then I will click on that tab, the box, and I will get the option to add the date there. So now I have added the date. And the third column, if I want to add details about the app, I want to add a simple text, so I will add the property called text from the options, and I will type something here like paid for the whole year, or whatever detail I want to add regarding that particular app subscription that I have purchased. Now if I want to add in something else here, then I will go to the property type again by clicking on that column head, and then I will choose that what kind of property do I want to add next. And then we will choose, imagine for example I want to put in the price, then I will choose number, because prices are numbers. And then for example I want to add that the price was 1700 rupees INR. So now we can see that something is missing here, like we need to add a denomination with the price. There is no denomination here, rupees, dollar, euro, whatever. So what we'll do is we'll go to the format number below the property type, and there we can see all the different currencies. We will choose rupee from here, and then we can see that the rupee symbol is now just beside the price of our app. Now for example, we need to add a different property type. Now for example, we need to select that this app was purchased in iOS or Android. So we will choose the property type select, and then we will create options here. So we don't have to do much for creating options here. We will just create by typing in the options. For example, that I will type iOS here, and a new option will be created that this was an iOS app. And in the second option I will choose an Android app. So a second option will be created which will be called an Android app. So now I will just create one more row of an app. I will take a second example called Tessa, and this I purchased in iOS, so I will choose an iOS in the example, so I mean in the option. So yeah, this is how the options are created in the select property type. We can also do color coding of these options just so that it's easier to recognize that which option or which particular category or thing does it belongs to. Colors are catchy to the eyes and it's much more easier to remember colors. So guys, I have created a separate table for the fourth option because when I was editing I realized that I missed the multi-select option altogether. So I'm going to show you guys how it works. So we will select multi-select option in this column and the select option in the other column so that I can show you difference between the two because they both are actually very similar. So for example, I have already created two options here just like I created in select Monday and Tuesday. So I will create one more just to show you guys how it's created. We type something and then a new option is created, and then we have two options in the select option, same iOS and Android. So the difference between these two is that in multi-select we can choose multiple options in just one row or one box. So I have created multiple options here, Monday, Wednesday and Tuesday, but in this one I cannot select multi options. I can only select one at a time. So this is the difference between select and the multi-select, and this is how it works. Also guys, we can also change the title of your column heads. For example, I want to name it as day of purchase, so I will change the name from here, and then in the next column I can change the name to whatever I want, but I'm gonna pick app platform. So yeah, the names are changeable. You can change them according to your own choices. So moving on to our old board, our next option is date that I've already showed you guys how it works. So we'll choose the person. So when we choose this option, person, this property, we will get the options now in the box where we will be able to tag people in here. Now for example, that this board was about a meeting which was supposed to be done about the upcoming website. So a person is supposed to know in your members list or Notion that this meeting is going to be held. So you would be able to tag the person in there, which would be very helpful because that person would know, okay, this is something which is regarding me. So our next option is files and media. I've already showed you guys how it works. There are two options of adding file in Notion, upload or embed. This works in a manner, for example, a meeting was going to be held and there are notes that a person needs to know about. So you will be able to insert the file in here, and the person will be able to open the file from here and will be able to get to know about the notes. So our next option is checkbox. Now for example, that there was a task here, okay, so I added a task for a particular person here that, okay, you are supposed to, create an online website, or you are supposed to purchase something. So if you are the person is supposed to purchase Teza and they've already done it, they would just click on that checkbox and that it is done. So this is what checkbox does. And then in next we have URL. So imagine that this meeting is supposed to be done and the person is supposed to be on a particular website or know about a particular website because there's something important in there. So you will post the URL here and then you will get the option of open link from right there. Like, you don't need to do anything else. You will click on that and the link will open. It's that easy, and it will be easier for the other person to, or other people to open those links. Then we have email. So we will just add in the email of the particular person or a particular brand or whatever we want to add in here. And once we add the email here, after adding the email, we will get the option called send email. So this will be easier, like once we click on that, our mail app would open and we'll be able to send emails right from here. So next we have phone. This is all about contacts. Like, we put the phone number in here, and once we put the phone number, we will be able to call the person from right here, depending on your device how it works. So we'll be able to call that particular person from in here only. This will be really helpful when you need to add the contact details of people in our table. So next we have formula. I'm going to miss this step, guys, because this is like really complicated, really lengthy. I would need to make a separate video of it. So if you guys want me to do that, I will do it for you guys. Let me know in the comments below. So next we have relation. So this relation option we use when we need to show a relation between a database that we made on another page. So there is my another page called habit tracking, in which I made a list of my daily activities. So if I want a reference to that, my whole list will be open here. The whole table will be open here. If I want to add in a data of one of those rows or columns, I can add in here by clicking on that plus icon. So this is what relation does. Okay, so we're gonna undo that for now because I want to show you guys something else also which is related to this whole thing. Now we have roll up. Now you cannot choose a roll up option without creating a relation. So first you need to create a relation column, and then you will be able to choose a role option, because it will ask that what is the relation that you need to choose. Now, as we can see that the column in which we created the relation is called tags. So we will choose tags from that, and then we will choose what property of that particular list or table that is linked to the relation column we want to reflect here. Now, as I told you guys, it was a habit tracking table for me. So I will choose what was my working habit, like was I working daily or not. And then we have calculation. Then we have different values in the calculate section. If we choose show original, it will choose to show the original data that we have in the data or the table we have linked. So I must have left the original column or row blank, so that's why it's not showing anything. And then we have count values or count all. If we choose count all, then it will show the number of pages linked to that particular data. I have 0 pages linked, so it's showing 0. You will know the meaning of all these calculate options in the dialog beside them. It's pretty easy. Then the next option that we have is create a time, and it will show the time at which this particular column was created. And then the next we have is created by. It will show the member who created this column or this table data or whatever. And then we have last edited time, so it will show when was the last time this column was being edited. And then we have last edited by, and it will show that who edited this particular column or row from all of the members that are added on your Notion. Now, since we have already explored all the properties on the table we created earlier, now we will create a new table, and I will show you that how even after creating or putting data in a table, it can be created into a board or a timeline or whatever. So we'll go on add a view, choose board, and then we will click on create, and now it will be created into or changed into a board. So even if there was a data inside this table that it was earlier, the data would still stay here, it won't be lost. And then we will click on that 3-dot icon. We'll see the database lock. If we want that we are not making any sudden or accidental changes in our board's data, we will click on that, so it will lock the database. We won't be able to make any changes here. Then we have properties, then we have card preview here, and then we have card size. We want a large, medium, or small, the little boxes you're seeing behind this. And then we have name or tags, like on what basis you want your data to be categorized on. Okay, and then we have properties. They are just the same like how we discussed earlier. They will be same throughout every kind of table. They won't be different at all. Now what we will do is that we will delete this for now since we don't need it. I just wanted to show you guys that it's all the same. Now we will add data in here. So for example, we are creating a vision board, so we will be adding this goal called study at Harvard. So now what we'll do is we will add a property here. So we will choose a date here, so that if we want to add that till what time I want to be at Harvard, so I will choose a date here. But if I want to add a date duration, like 2 dates, a beginning date and the ending date, then I will turn on the end date, and then I will be able to choose an ending date. And if I want it back to normal, then I will just turn it off. And if I want to add some other property to it, since there are 2 properties of this particular vision till now, one is tags and the other is called property. I didn't change the names. So in tags I can add that what is this particular vision about. Is it personal, or is it regarding studies, or is it regarding personal development? So whatever it is, I can choose it all here. So if I want to open this page in full width, I can do that from here by clicking on the 3-dot icon on the right hand side upper corner. And if I want to add anything in this page, I can do that. This acts like a normal page because this is a page. These little blocks, they create and open a new page. And now I have opened it as a page just to see or show you guys how it looks, and I can give it a cover. Now this will do an amazing thing. Let me show you. So I'm gonna choose a cover from here. I will go to Unsplash, choose the term Harvard, and choose a cover picture from here which would just suit this whole thing. So this one looks good, and I will go back, and what I will do is now that I will click on this little 3-dot icon here, and I will go to properties, and now I will go to card preview. I didn't tease it before because I wanted to show you how it works. I will choose the page cover. Now the page cover will show up here. If I wanted to show the page content here, then I would choose the page content in the options that were coming. So yeah guys, this is how it looks, and if I want I can even convert it into a timeline. So let's do it. I just wanted to show you that data won't be lost if I convert it into a timeline. So guys, if I move the slider just right at the date when when I'm supposed to be at the Harvard, I chose one date, remember, in the properties. So yeah, there it is. I chose the date July 22, so in the timeline section of the July 22, there it is, my data. So it's never lost like that. Let's convert it back to the board, and now I will just create one more board or one more section in this board, so that I can show that this can be divided, this data can be divided into one more thing, which will be like time, like Jan, Feb, March, April, like that. So we'll add one more property, and in the property type we have chosen select because we want to choose 1 month at a time. So I'm creating the options of different months here, so to like January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Because see, if we are creating vision board, it's divided on, or mostly it's divided on when we want to accomplish that particular thing or a particular goal. So we want that that the data is divided on the basis of months. So we don't need to do much for that. We will just create a property in our this little icons or tiles that we have. So now we have created one property and it's called month. So we'll go on grouped by and we will choose month. All of the properties we put in our these little slides or little tiles here, they will be shown here in the group by section. So now we can see that the data is divided on the basis of months. In the July section we can see the Harvard one, and this one we didn't assign any month to it, so it's showing in the no month section. If we want it back on the basis of personal studies or personal development, the type of goal it has, then we will pick it back on the tags. Now moving on to our next board type or database type, that is gallery. Now what gallery does is, gallery is basically a composition of pages which are designed or formatted on the basis of gallery design. Because in gallery you see there are pictures, okay, and pictures are coming together in the form of blocks, okay. So what we'll do is we'll create a page here or create a data inside a page, and I will show you that how it looks like. So in the first page I have created a grocery list. In the second page I am going to create a bulleted list of anything that I want to add a data of. So imagine that I want to add a data of what to bake, so I will add all the things that I want to bake here. And then what we're going to do is after this we are going to add data on our third page if I want to. So you can see the titles here first, instead of page 1, page 2, page 3, you can see the titles because I gave titles to the page. So now we can move on to our next one, since we know how this works. This is just a gallery of pages, that's it in short form. So now we have a list here. Now we can create a list or choose a list to, for example, create a brain dump journaling session. So what we'll do is that in this is like a list of pages, okay. So for example, if I'm creating a brain dump journaling session or brain dump journal, so what we'll do is it will be like first item on my list will be brain dump session 1 and brain dump session 2, the second item. And in these pages, because these are pages, okay, so in these pages I will add my journaling, blah blah, whatever I want to add, whatever I want to type as text, and this will be known as my journal. I have this template in my Notion actually, and I really love it. I really use it a lot. So this is how it works. You create pages in the list. Every time you hit new button, a new page will be created, and this is how it works. And then we have the next board, which is called, let's see, our next board is calendar. Okay, so this one is particularly very useful when you want to create a planner in your Notion, because I use it for creating or maintaining my planner. So for example, this is my daily planner, and now what I will do is I will assign data to the particular dates. So I will create new, and this will open a new, I will click on new and this will open a new page. And if I create a template, for example, that I put to-do list in my daily planner on daily basis. So I'm creating a template here of to-do list so that I don't need to create a new page every time in which I will add a to-do list. So this template will make things easier. As I already told you guys how do templates work. So once this template is created, to-do list like A, B, C, D. So once I have created that, every time I will make an entry on a particular date, I will just click on the template name. I'm just giving this name, giving this template the name untitled. So now you can see this untitled page is coming. So every time you click on that, this template will load up like this, and I won't need to create or go through the hustle of creating a to-do list every time. It will just be here like this, and if I assign it a date, it will fall on that particular date. There are two options of creating data for the next date. Either we duplicate the item and put it or drag it like that to another date, or we just go on new and create a new page or template and give it a particular date. Just like this, we go on new and then we click on untitled, since this is the name of our template, and then we give it a particular date in the date property, and once we give it a date, it will fall on that particular date of the year. So it's that easy, and this is how we use calendar for daily planner, and it's really easy, and I really love this part because there's no way that I can live without my daily planner on Notion. And then we have timeline. I use this timeline board for tracking my reading progress, so I'm giving you that example only. So for example, that if I was reading a book called Ikigai, I will change the card one name to Ikigai, and there is a date range assigned to it rather than one single date, because reading book is a gradual process. So for example, I also want to add the genre of the book. So what we'll do is I will create one property called book genre, and then I will go to select, since it will be like a select thing. Is it thriller or comedy or romantic? So whatever it is, whatever its property, I will give it that property. So if it's a thriller novel, though Ikigai is not a thriller novel at all, but still I'm just giving it as that thing, that genre, just putting an example. And then we have status, like are we in the progress of reading a book, or do we just started, or we have already finished it. So we are giving a date range to it, but we can also slide it like this. We can drag it here and there, and we can change the date range from here itself. We just don't need to go to the card and click on that and then open a page and then change the date range from there. So it's that easy. If we want to add a data regarding that particular book, like what did we learn from that book, any quotes we want to paste there, we can put on that particular page that just opened when we clicked on Ikigai. So now we will click on the little add icon and see that what do we have next in the database section. And as you can see that we completed the inline section. The next section that we have is full page section of exactly the same things, which will work in exactly the same manner as I told you guys. And the next option is create linked database. Now create linked database is nothing. All the pages that you created databases or tables, and they will show up here. And if you want data from those pages to show up on this current page, you can do that by choosing that particular page from the suggestion list, and it will all be projected here. And if you want to add more data in it, it's quite possible. Easy, you just click on the new, and new data will be added just like the way you want it to be, and it will happen in every database. You will get the option to create or add more data in the database, which will be projected here. So guys, that was it for today's video. Please feel free to ask any questions in the comments below. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!